This project is funded in part by a grant from the West Springfield Arts Council, a local agency supported by the Massachusetts Cultural Council, a state agency. Thank you.
Welcome to my show. Oh no, I'm late for work. Oh no. Utterly shameful. What we saw there was a scam in the works. Prisoner 4567. You recap the mistakes made by Chuck up to this point? Yes, the customer was desperate and in a hurry. For those reasons, he missed red flags. By doing a quick online search for locksmiths in this area, he failed his own due diligence. What I found alarming was when he called you, you replied with a generic greeting. Lock services instead of a name of a company. That's right! A professional company in good standings will always answer with the name of its official business. Can I have a bottle of water? My throat is kind of itchy. Inmate 4567. The Department of Corrections is responsible for your refreshments. As a taxpayer, I urge you to reach out to your babysitter. Oh, welcome back to Primetime Prevention, a weekly show highlighting scams at the prestigious Town Hall. I am your host, Alex Midas, co-host of the daytime radio talk show SWRS on the Spondulics network. We are continuing with our topic on locksmith scams. We have prisoner 4567, who is here to tell us how these cons go. Oh, and once again, my name is Rowdy Robbin, for anyone who is curious. I am not the least interested. You should be ashamed to have called yourself a professional locksmith. You charge a poor man who was locked out of his house $315 for service that was really cheap and anything but secure. Well, at the time, he was just another number. I have been doing that sort of things for years. To line your pockets, of course. Yes, I was greedy. You're a real tough guy. Prisoner 4567. Why don't you convey to our audience your other crimes and how you were eventually caught by the police with your hands in a cookie jar? One of the things I did while on the service call was to ask the customer a series of questions. Questions about where they work and how often they leave their home. Convict! So Chuck, you leave every other day to pick up your son from school?
Yes, for this season it is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now with this new job, I have to take him to work and pick him up later.
Sound like you are in and out all evening. What do you do for work?
Oh, I'm a mailman.
What about your wife?
She's a bank manager.
No kidding! So you guys are pretty much out early in the morning and back in later in the evening.
Yep, we're pretty busy. Everybody's out and about.
Mr. Midas, once I knew a customer's schedule, I typically returned to the home months later and gained entry. I took whatever desirables I wanted. These items were pawned to quickly collect cash. But I made a critical mistake. Oops. It was a splintering crash that made a big mess.
You're under arrest! Stop resisting! You're under arrest for fraud!
Impressive. I think we are through here. Do you have any last words before you are hauled off by the Department of Corrections and returned to your hellish domain? Yes, Mr. Midas. If I make parole next year, I hope to earn the trust of society. I'll do anything to make up for the horrible things I have done. I am regretful for what I did. I was a stubborn fool and many people were greatly hurt by my actions. Prisoner 4567 is already rehearsing for his parole. May I add some additional tips before you close out? Absolutely not. We heard all we need to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it and you saw it. Like a mad pirate navigating a ship approaching a homeland of innocence, inmate 4567, a convicted thief, sees aspirations for freedom. He thinks it is within reach. The question is, after only 7 years in prison, does he deserve to be paroled? As I sit here before you, and this criminal, and I listen to this nonsense, the blood in my vein freezes. I don't trust him. Who could forget his years of scamming members of our community, burglarizing homes? I am sure if he wasn't caught by the police, today he would still be up to his hideous pastimes. Our community trusted him once. We must not make the same mistake. His code and calculating actions are just intolerable, and we should react with distrust. If I was his trial judge, this inmate would have been doomed to spend all eternity behind prison walls. Our great and peaceful society must exile those who violate the trust of the public. Let my final words stretch from sea to shining sea. Mr. Midas, thank you for having me on. Is there a restroom around here I can use? We have an old one in our huge basement, loaded with spiders and rats. With a security escort, you can help yourself. If you need to use toilet tissue, I hope you brought a spare roll with you from prison. Officer Wilson, everyone else is gone. I am preparing to lock up the building. Tell that prisoner to hurry up. Wait a minute. He's been in there for some time, like 15 minutes. How do we know he's not trying to pull off an escape attempt? We do have windows in the bathroom that can be pried open.
No need to worry. I have an officer posted outside and watching the window, with leg irons and handcuffs restricting his mobility. Escape will be impossible.
Well, that brings comfort to civilization. Officer, keep up the good work.
I doubt if he's trying to escape, or it's lingering on his mind. Rowdy's painting is up for another public display this week. He wouldn't blow that for the world.
4567 is an artist?
A very good one at that. He has donated hundreds of his paintings across the country, including West Hospice Care. He has had a relationship with that facility for years, painting pictures of those with short time remaining.
West Hospice Care. My late sister was in their care 4 years ago before she passed on. One of the last things she held in her hand was a painting by an artist named R. Robbin. You mean to tell me Prisoner 4567 is that artist?
Most likely.
My sister adored that painting of her and her family. I mean, she just held on to it before she passed on. That was wonderful. Perhaps I was out of line with my treatment of Rowdy Robbin. Mr. Robbin, I wish to apologize for my conduct at the town hall meeting. I understand you are an artist, and now using your talent to do marvelous things for people in the final stages of life. My sister was such a person. Mr. Midas, it brings me joy to enlighten others during the worst time. I didn't see my true purpose until I was sent to prison for my awful crimes. It's never too late to make a change in behavior for the greater good. Well said. Well, I have a camera out, And if you like to share on our program about some final tips about locksmith cons, you can do so. Thank you! I would be an honor to do that. Inspect a business advertisement carefully. Is the name obvious? Does it look like other ads, but have a different name? Does this merchant operate under several names? Ask questions. When you contact a business for service, inquire about the cost of a service call. That includes mileage, labor, and parts. If the on-site estimate doesn't match the price quote on the phone, run. Also remember, as a customer, you have the right to ask and see identification. A real locksmith will show credentials when asked and arrive in a clearly marked vehicle. There should not be no drilling. Most skilled locksmiths can open any door. If a contractor insists on drilling, that there, my friend, is a red flag. Finally, demand to see an itemized invoice that includes all charges. This document should have the business name and address as well. For added security, use your credit card for locksmith services. This includes our two-part segment on Interview with the Con Artist. Thank you for watching. May you and your loved ones have a fraud-free day. Until next time, stay safe and stay secure.
If you suspect you are a fraud victim, contact the Federal Trade Commission at www.reportfraud.ftc.gov or call 877-382-4357.